Hi, I am Alaya, and I began Soil Studio Flowers. It was kind of a pandemic project. I used to work at the Family Resource Center, and then I had my first child right when we went into lockdown, and I tried to go back to work, but it didn't really work. And here I am. So, uh, Soil Studio Flowers, or actually, if we can go to the next slide really quick. I want to talk, just as we're passing these out, a little bit about these zinnias, because they are special zinnias. Part of what I like to do at the farm is to find other farms that are growing kind of rare, unique, hybridizing seed, that kind of thing. And so these are from a farm in Santa Cruz called Dawn Creek, and they are a smaller family farm, and they focus on a few different flowers, but mostly it's zinnias, and they've been working with floret as well, to develop those really cool like pastel, and to kind of call it like metallic zinnias. So that's what this is. This is a mix of pastel zinnias that I grew out in my greenhouse. So they are hopefully true to type, we'll see. But I grew them out 2 years ago, and everything that I grew this year was in this pastel mix. But so as these are getting passed around, I just wanted to give you a little bit of information if you haven't saved seed from zinnias before. So there's two types of seed or petal structure, really. There's ray flowers or ray petals, and then the seeds that come from those flowers are the ray seeds. And those ones are more of a clone of the parent plant. So like if it came, from that like lilac flower, it would tend to look more like that lilac flower. And then the disc flowers or the disc seeds, they are smaller, and they come from petals that have a little pollen tip on it. And so those are the seeds that are more of a mix of the two or multiple parent flowers. So just a little bit of information. And for separating the seeds, just you can kind of, I thought this could be just like a fun little fidget thing. You're basically just separating the seed from the petal. And then the last bit, sharing is caring. If you have social media, or if you have a friend to talk to, it's always lovely to share, where you got these seeds, because they were all grown with care from, a small farm that's trying to make it in a world of big farms. And so any help in supporting them is always appreciated. They can go to the next one. Yeah, so Soil Studio is primarily a flower farm, and we grow about 150 different varieties of flowers, a mix of perennials and annuals. And our season is from like March through till we get a killing frost, basically, which this year is not yet, which is amazing. And we really focus, like I said before, on, I try to find those seeds from farms that are also kind of like specialty farms, and so that what we grow is, we try to make as unique as possible, and really focusing on all the things that you need for a dynamic bouquet. So there's a lot of variety in the types of flowers. And, oh, sorry, yes, we're on Lopez. Yeah, we're on the south end of Lopez. Um, right past the South End store. So we have a little farm stand out there, but it's not used very much because I just yeah, there's eggs, yeah. Yeah, yeah. So we haven't, our little farm stand is a little underdeveloped because I had a baby. But, but we're getting back into, or the goal is to make it more of a functioning farm stand. And the eggs are from our neighbor. There's a neighbor kid next door who puts eggs in our farm stand. So yeah, we're on the south end of Lopez, and we we also do flower starts, which yeah, Soil Studio, we've been around, so pandemic times, right? So it's been about 4 years now. But it's always been a very small operation. And so we started doing flower start sets at sunset like 3 years ago. And then we're not doing that anymore, but we have started to do flower starts that you can just order online through the website. And the whole idea is to grow your own bouquet. So each start set comes with all the different flowers that you need to grow like a dynamic bouquet. So it has the disc flowers, the focal flowers, some spikes, some airy bits and greenery. And we do this because I have always been of the opinion that flowers are just meant to be shared. And so given where we live and all the people who, like in this room, mostly just like to grow their own flowers, we thought it would be something that we can offer that would really complement this place and the people here. And of course, something that we also care about is healthy soil. So at our farm, we use what is trending as the regenerative farm practices. So we use a lot of cover cropping, a lot of mulch. We're, of course, variety is not a problem. But we always leave some flowers for the bees, and also over winter we leave, like I love to just grow out a row of sunflowers and leave it for the birds all winter long. Yeah, if we have like a pest problem, we're using beneficial bugs or predator bugs, and always adding different sources of microbes into the soil and directly to the plants as well. So we offer flowers in a few different ways. These are all pictures of our bouquet CSA. So just like food farmers, flower farmers also have become part of the community-supported agriculture movement. And so just like a vegetable CSA, the idea is that you would purchase a number of weeks or a full season. And so, yeah, this gives you an idea of the different flowers that we grow, which are many. Yeah, so do we have, yeah, it works in, we've done a few different ways. But right now we have a delivery option. So, which especially like if you're a business, that makes more sense. And then we also have pickup at our farm stand. And there are two different options that we just decided to do for the 2025 season. So I split it into like a spring subscription, a summer subscription, and a fall subscription. Each are 6 weeks. Or if you just want flowers every week, we have a full season, 24 weeks that just runs like spring through fall. Yeah. Lots of flowers, yeah. Yeah. And it's small scale. So the farm is about it. We have like a quarter acre that is like more like stereotypical farm space. And that includes like a large greenhouse. So we're able to test the boundaries of the seasons a bit, which is why we have flowers like starting in March. And then also because, flowers are landscaping, a lot of the perennial flowers I have, grown around the house and things like that. And so a quarter acre plus. Um, yes, and it's all fenced in, yeah. Yeah, oh my gosh. Yeah, those deer, I know I just got back from LA last night and the deer got in. It's sad. Ye- Yeah, they jumped, I think, over the fence. Yeah, 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 it's sad. But then again, there's not much growing right now. It's okay. But they just went after the roses. Um, uh, so we also sell, I think you have to touch to hit play. We also sell flowers at the Goosefoot Produce Farm Stand. So this is a little video of what we had there this summer. Yeah, so CSA's the farm stand. And then also, if you can go to the next slide, we also do weddings and events. And that is what really makes flower farming a viable business. We are lucky to live in a place that is a wedding destination. And for me personally, it's what I love about this job is combining growing, which I've always been a kind of market gardener, and art. To be able to select flowers that go with exactly what someone's vision is and put it together in a way that speaks to them, to their love. It's a really special thing. So what we do is we grow for a given event, so a wedding or event. And that means that I talk to the person and figure out what their style is, what their colors are, and like a year in advance, usually, hopefully, and then we're able to really grow exactly to their palette. And so for weddings, it's kind of a mix. A lot of people like the a la carte. We have like a little menu and they can just order what they want off of it. And if you can go to the next slide. But we also do larger installations like a hanging piece that we did over here. Gonna do another one on Saturday. I'll be back. And so, yeah, for weddings, we do what we call like the a la carte or full service, which is when we do larger installations. And of course, also kind of DIY buckets too, which is great. So, but whatever someone is getting, we are always growing according to their color palette and the style that they're wanting. Yeah, and then last slide. This is kind of where we're at in our business. I thought this was a great little picture where, you know, we've got beautiful flowers and we're in the point where we're really like working on infrastructure. Like we're still, you know, making gorgeous arrangements in my patio. And so the next stage for us is we just found like one of those storage tankers that you've probably seen dotted across the landscape to turn into like a walk-in cooler and a temporary studio space so we can get out of the front yard. But yeah, so and just to add anything I forgot, I'm a little rushed because I actually have to leave from here to go harvest flowers for the wedding this weekend. But yeah. Oh my gosh, I forgot cards, but it's okay. Well, it's not up there. But yeah, Soil Studio Flowers, or soilstudio.com. And it's myself and also another woman, Kim Buckley. And on the website, I still haven't updated it to put Kim on there, but so Grigorzik, and she worked with me as the business was getting going and still helps out for like larger events and stuff like that. But we connected actually, at the resource center, the last time I came to talk to the garden club was as a resource center representative. I was working with the Lopez Fresh, you know, before the food bank or the food share and the Grow Row program. So that's when I used to come talk to the garden club, was to help promote those food efforts. What else? I think that's just about it. But yeah, so enjoy your zinnia seeds and your zinnia flowers next year. And then I guess I'm not going to be here for the Q&A. So if there's any other questions, now is the time to, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Dilemma. So do you pull out all your dahlias and put them someplace so that next season you can grow the corns again?
I don't.
Okay.
But I do treat them very nicely over the winter though. So I don't dig my dahlias until they are what I consider as being ready to divide, which is like after they've been growing for about 3 years, and then you really want to give them some space. But I have dug dahlias in the past, and then I realized that for my scale, it's just so much work, and it doesn't really make a lot of sense because they do tend to survive just fine. So what I do, I have 2 different dahlia sections. One is the dahlias that I really care about, and the other one is the dahlias that I don't care as much about. And so the ones that can be more easily replaced, I just cover with like 8 inches of mulch. And then the ones that I care about that are really hard to find, there are some really special ones out there that are, I mean, I don't know if anyone has experienced the dahlia craze, but you go on to get one dahlia and your cart is empty before you check out. So some of those ones I will dig out, but the middle ground, I put a layer of black plastic down, or plastic, something that water will not pass through. And that protects a little bit from the moisture. And then on top of that, I do my 8 inches of mulch. That said, though, in my farm, the soil strata is kind of like two different soil types. So I plant my dahlias in the area of my garden that is very well draining, it's very sandy, so I am lucky enough that I don't have to dig out my dahlias. If I had a very wet garden, I would dig them out, and if I were to dig them out, I would store them in a cool, dark place. And yeah, like Lynn was saying, newspaper is great. The newspaper sawdust, perlite, very, very good. Yeah. Dahlia. Anything else? It probably would. Your only feeling about pine needles is that they could have bacteria and viruses on them more so than other things. So like if you're using sawdust, like fresh sawdust, if that's not something that's been laying around for a long time. Yeah. Thank you so much.